So we've said that attraction is really waning. And it's one of the reasons that you can go to 10,000 singles events, and you're always going to see the same thing. You're going to see 10% of the guys get all the attention, 10% of the women get all the attention, and 90% feeling, what the hell am I doing in this damn place? I can't wait to leave. This is the pits. This sucks. This is the worst thing ever. It's degrading. It's humiliating. And you always see the same people getting the attention. Why? Because in a world where men and women are not attracted to each other, then compatibility reigns. It's the people who have qualities that stand out, where you have a really good argument. Oh, now I know why I'm attracted to her, because she's the most beautiful in the room. Oh, he's the most successful. He has the most charismatic personality. There are reasons, I can now explain it, but we don't see the visceral attraction anymore. You go to a singles event and, wow, men and women are attracted to each other. I had a great time because a lot of guys were talking to me. It also explains something else before I move to the second part of what we're going to talk about. Explain something else. You know what it explains? How the single scene came to be in the first place. Did it ever strike you that it's unnatural to have a singles scene? That it's almost absurd? How weird that is? What if I said to you, there is a 20-year adolescent scene. Kids just don't grow up. They remain adolescents from like age 12, and they just stay at that age for like 20 years. You're supposed to grow through things, right? It's supposed to end. There was never supposed to be a single scene. Singles was never supposed to be a state through which you passed. It was on the contrary, it was something very transitory. Because it's unnatural not to be drawn to people, not to want to find love, not to want to be alone. So you'd go through it and then you'd get attached. Amazingly, the singles have become a scene. And by the way, that's why there isn't one happy single scene anywhere in the world. I have lectured to singles in every part of the world. To Jewish singles, non-Jewish singles. I've lectured in Hong Kong, to Belgium, to South Africa, to Australia. Never once have I asked, raise your hand if the single scene in your city is wonderful. Never have I seen a single hand go up. But I've always heard, oh, it's awful. It's horrible. It's terrible. You know, the funny thing is, when I lived in Oxford, a very small community, so all the Jewish singles would say, we got to go to London and find, you know, this bigger pool. Then in London they'd say, there's no one here. It's too small. We have to go to New York. There's so many Jewish singles in them. And then you speak to the Jewish singles here. I was speaking to someone last week who said, I'm moving to Israel because it's too small here. Why does the single scene why is it always humiliating and awful? In fact, before I even guess that, let's just try it here. Raise your hand if you like the single scene in New York City. Raise your hand. You enjoy it? Okay. Well, you broke my rule. There it is.
No, I've only been here a few months. Maybe I don't
Okay, you'll be cynical within another month. Don't worry. Where are you from?
Sure. Boston.
Okay, and it's much bigger here, right? Yeah. There's no one in Boston.
Well, I went to Brandeis.
Okay. The reason why the single scene always stinks is that you're not designed to be single. It's like saying Yom Kippur always is awful. Yeah, it is. You're not meant not to eat. It's unpleasant. Tisha B'Av's horrible. You're not meant to be alone. Lo tov heyos adam levado. The very first statement the Torah makes about man is that he is not designed to be single.